How's it going, IO? In this video, we're going to talk about Matty Healy finally addressing the breakup rumors with Taylor Swift, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's big announcement to do with the royal family, and viral photos from Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny's latest date. So earlier this week, it was reported that Matty Healy and Taylor Swift are well and truly over. And while neither of them has officially said anything about the breakup, Matty seemed to reference it on stage during one of the 1975 shows. One audience member was holding up a positive sign that said "You are loved." He seemed to be very appreciative of this message and responded by saying, "That was very kind of you. I'm sure that it's alluding to," but before he mentioned the breakup, his voice kind of trailed off. Then he said, "As you are aware, I'm not very online at the moment, and I'm sure people have just been calling me a C word relentlessly. I've not been online, but what I have been with is my boys. And honestly, as much as I appreciate that, it's so beautiful and I thank you, but I don't need it because I've got them." So he does have some awareness of the online discourse, though he's definitely chosen to stay away from it, obviously because most of the backlash is directed straight at him. But there were also reports coming out saying that the public scrutiny wasn't actually a factor in their breakup. One source told People magazine that Matty likes to provoke a response out of people. Quote, "Taylor's a grown woman, more than capable of forming her own opinions about people. No one forces her into anything, especially not these days. She's on top of the world." That source also made it clear that their relationship was always a casual one. He said, "They were never boyfriend-girlfriend or exclusive, and were always just having fun. There is no drama, and who knows what could happen again. It was a good time and it ran its course." Another source then spoke to Page 6 and said, "Taylor Swift's fleeting romance with Matty Healy was never anything serious, and we surely won't be getting any love songs out of it. So the story is that they broke up because they're both extremely busy and they just realized that they're not compatible with each other." Quote, "Taylor's friends want what's best for her and aren't shocked that their relationship fizzled out, since she recently got out of a long-term relationship. Everyone who really knows her has been saying all along that this was just a fun, good time thing that would last as long as it lasted, and it would be no big deal once it's done." In terms of the media frenzy surrounding Taylor and Matty, The Insider described the whole thing as stupid. They said she will not be writing albums about him because it was just a summer fling, insisting that Taylor can't have a good time with anyone without the press marrying her off to them. Quote, "She's allowed to let off some steam and sow her oats afterwards without people claiming first that she's head over heels. And then she's breaking up with the guy. It's not a breakup, it's a natural evolution of a little fun thing whose moment is over. So it's entirely possible that this wasn't anything more than just that." And judging from Matty's recent antics, it seems like he has well and truly moved on. The 1975 performed at Denmark's Northside Festival, where he was seen making out with a male security guard. Footage from the concert shows him holding a bottle of alcohol in one of his hands, kneeling down in front of a smiling security guard, and then asking him for a kiss. More than anything else, this moment was a sign that he is well and truly single. While he was with Taylor, he made it very clear that he would no longer be kissing fans in the audience out of respect for her. And now, even if he is still a little heartbroken, at least he has his friends that can pick up the pieces. In a profile for The New Yorker, Matty Healy explained that the band operates with a Wizard of Oz element. He said one of them needs a heart, one of them needs a brain, one of them needs this other thing, and they're all on the road together. Which sounds like they're very supportive of each other no matter what. Well, all things considered, Matty will probably come out of this more than okay. Now we have to talk about everything that's been going on with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. On his final day in court, Harry revealed one of the main reasons he's decided to bring a lawsuit against the Mirror Group newspapers. In his emotional testimony, he said he wanted to end the absolute intrusion and hate that was coming towards him and his wife. Instead, he wants to see if there is another way to find a different course of action, rather than relying on the institution's way. Harry's focus on the intrusion of the British media continually popped up throughout his witness statement. In fact, it's really at the heart of this lawsuit. In the legal document, he wrote that they reluctantly decided to step back in their roles as senior members of the royal family due to the constant intrusion, inciting of hatred, and harassment by the tabloid press into every aspect of their private lives. He said this is what had a devastating impact on their mental health and well-being. Later on in the statement, he wrote, "There also seems to be a real blurring of the lines in terms of what is in the public interest and what is in the interest to the public. The tabloids concentrated on salacious stories about my relationships and so on to satisfy the latter while appearing to completely ignore the former, as a means of justifying their intrusion." All things considered though, it's no wonder that the couple are fighting so hard against the press. In the last few years, they've repeatedly spoken about the harmful impact impact of the tabloid media on their mental health. At one point, Meghan described the feeling of ending up in the tabloids as being fed to the wolves. And to make it all so much worse, they suspected that other members of the royal family were behind it all. From their perspective, this is what led to their activism. In January, Harry said that changing the media landscape in the UK is his life's work. And just last month, when Meghan accepted a Women of Vision award in New York, she spoke about the hate campaign that was against her. She said, "The narrative on repeat that surrounded me allowed me to recognize part of my greater value and purpose in life was to advocate for those who felt unheard, to stand up to injustice, and to not be afraid of saying what you know is true, and what is just and what is right." Although they're not stopping their activism against the press, they are going to be scaling it down from now on. Last week, it was reported that the couple are going to stop making tell-all Netflix documentaries, publishing memoirs, and taking part in interviews that reveal the inner workings of the royal family, apparently because they have nothing left to say. One source close to the couple spoke to The Sun and said that period in their life is over and there is nothing left to say. They talked about the time when they were releasing all these different media projects, like their Netflix venture and Harry's memoir, and said that this was their era of visibility, but they hope 2023 will be their year of reconciliation with the royal family. So basically, they've said all they needed to say, and now they're hoping to lay low for a bit and rebuild some of these strained relationships. This news is certainly interesting, given just how much the couple have been criticized for insisting that they want privacy, but at the same time appearing in interviews and making allegations about the royal family. When Harry and Meghan decided to move to California in 2020, it wasn't long before they started appearing in tell-all interviews and planning to make their first documentary. That same year, they signed a 5-year contract with Netflix under their production company Archwell Productions, which was reportedly worth $100 million. They hope to produce a number of different things like documentaries, feature films, scripted shows, and even children's programming. And so far, they've put out 2 programs. One is called Live to Lead, which features interviews with world leaders and celebrities like Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Gloria Steinem. Then they also have their own personal docuseries called Harry and Meghan, which they put out in January of 2023. In that same month, Harry released his controversial memoir Spare and went on a press tour to promote the book, giving even more exclusive interviews to the media. All of these projects and interviews were said to be done in the name of truth and speaking out about their experiences, but somehow it led to even more criticism, both in the UK and in the US. In February, Harry and Meghan were horribly mocked in an episode of South Park, which showed them loudly begging for privacy while at the same time drawing attention to themselves. So after all of that, it's possible that they just decided to hang up their gloves and step a little more out of the spotlight. And now, have you guys seen these new photos of Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny on a date? These two were spotted grabbing lunch in Beverly Hills wearing coordinated blue and earth tone outfits. Kendall kept her look simple, wearing an oversized leather jacket on top of a fitted muscle tank with jeans and white sneakers, whereas Benito opted for a more casual outfit. He wore a cream-colored hoodie, green khaki pants, a blue baseball cap, and white sneakers. So this might be the most stylish celebrity couple of 2023. Just last month, they made their first public appearance together at the Lakers playoff game in LA. They were photographed smiling while chatting with friends, looking super stylish and both wearing the exact same snakeskin print boots. Of course, a video of them together went viral on TikTok, and from that point on, it was kind of chaos. Yeah, it was a big deal that they were out and proud in public together, but it was a lot more than that. The video showed some very questionable body language coming from Kendall Jenner. She was seen leaning so far away from him that it almost looked like she wasn't interested. On the flip side, Benito didn't seem very comfortable either or confident sitting next to her. At one point, Kendall looked like she was frustrated with him when he leaned over to whisper something in her ear. Fans think he said something like, "What do you want to do after the game?" And she seemed to get annoyed at the question and said, "Well, we can do whatever." When footage from the date started circulating across the internet, fans were commenting all sorts of things, trying to decide why it just looked so awkward. Some people accused Kendall of scoping out other players on the court, while others said that she was only there out of obligation. In fact, ever since these two have been romantically linked, there were rumors following them claiming that it was just a PR relationship, because apparently it doesn't look like they have any chemistry whatsoever. But that same month, an inside source spoke to People magazine and said they're very cute together. Kendall is happy, he's a fun guy, very much a gentleman and charming. She likes his vibe, he's very chill. They spend almost every day together now. He hangs out with her friends and she hangs out with him. It's more of a relationship now. They went on to say, Kendall isn't seeing anyone else. She really likes him and sees long-term potential. So clearly the fact that they've been seen out together so many times by now is a sign that what they have is actually real. The couple were first linked back in February when rumors started circulating that they were seeing each other after they went to lunch with Justin and Hailey Bieber. From there, they were continually spotted together at events like Beyonce and Jay-Z's Oscars after party. They were also spotted getting close at Coachella. Photos were taken of them in the crowd together, and at one point, Benito was seen whispering something into Kendall's ear. He was wearing a bandana that covered the lower half of his face, while she was wearing a plain white t-shirt and sunglasses, but they were still recognizable. There wasn't very much PDA going on at the festival, but they had been seen kissing and hugging on multiple occasions over the last couple of weeks. Then there was Kendall's appearance at the Met Gala, which certainly raised a few eyebrows, considering that she chose to go separately. Instead of having Benito on her arm, she walked the Met steps with her sisters, while he went alone. So at that point, they were still trying to keep things under wraps. She looked beautiful wearing a sequin black bodysuit with exaggerated, floor-skimming sleeves and nothing on her lower half. The glittering one piece was topped with a crystal-embellished collar and sky-high platinum boots. And instead of bleached eyebrows like last year, she went back to her natural bold color. Her look was accessorized with Lorraine Schwartz crystals, which really pulled the whole thing together. So with or without a guy on her arm, she definitely pulled off a killer look. What do you guys think about this latest story? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all in the next video.